LeBron's in your building, it's going to be hype. The Lakers in your building, it's definitely going to be hype. And the fact that the Lakers pulled off a clutch win against the Orlando Magic just days prior, you knew Paolo Banchero and company would have get back on their minds. And boy, did they achieve it. Banchero nails the early three. And if you remember, Jalen Suggs had the opportunity to beat the Lakers at the buzzer at the Crypto.com arena. He started crying after. From tears to nutmeg, Suggs catches D'Lo slipping, finds Joe Ingles for three. Orlando already up double digits and counting. Anthony Black makes his first start in his very young career. The rookie making the most of it. He nails the three. That's got to be so live to get your first start against LeBron and the Lakers. Austin Reeves knows about taking advantage of opportunities. He nails the three. Reeves had 20, but Orlando kind of outworked the Lakers. Inside we go. Wagner with the finish. Then Banchero, chest to chest, man to man is what you put in the gym versus what I did. And the former number one overall pick likes his chances. I do too. Banchero had 25 points. And as we play beat the buzzer, how about Franz? Wagner inside, he had 26 points. Third quarter, we go. The Lakers try to make a run. It's led by their dynamic duo, LeBron and AD, putting their squad on their back, seeing what they could do. AD at 28, 13, and 7 blocks. But Orlando was just too much. Banchero, another bucket. LeBron's going to turn it over. Wagner's going to finish. And if some is good, more is better. France to Mo. Feeling like Mo Towel in Orlando right now, as hype as this crowd is. And they got good reason. Their Magic put it on the Lakers. 120-101 is your final. Tell me, have you seen them? No Bradley Beal, no Devin Booker. You do got Kevin Durant as the Phoenix Suns head to the East Coast. They're in Philadelphia taking on Tyrese Maxey, Joel Embiid in the Sixers first quarter. Embiid stepping back. Let's not forget he's 7 feet 2 inches tall. Who's going to step up for Philly? How about Jordan Goodwin beating the first quarter buzzer there with the three-pointer? Second quarter we go. Kelly Oubre has been a steal for Philadelphia thus far this season. Yes, they no longer have Harden, but you can't tell the difference offensively, in large part due to Oubre. We're still in the second. Joel Embiid will get called with a flagrant 1 foul here. He caught Yusuf Nurkic right on the chin. I know that had to hurt. After the Tobias Harris deuce, how about Nurkic, though, staying in the game and throwing down a deuce? He is going to probably be in a lot of pain for a very long time. We're in the third quarter. Oubre nails the three. A 25-point night for Kelly Oubre. And then how about the reigning MVP with the spin and the throwdown? So earlier in the week, Embiid got fined for his D-Generation X WWE style taunt. He decides not to do it there. Probably a good idea if he's all about keeping money in his pocket. Durant has been getting to the money a long time. Mid-range jump shot still looks like money from the easy money sniper. But who's going to step up and defend these Philly weapons? Embiid says nobody. He had 26 points, 11 boards. In the fourth quarter, Eric Gordon, no. Durant, yes. KD had 31 points, but his Suns were playing from behind in large part due to these threes that Philly made. Tyrese Maxey, the birthday boy, 22 points, 10 assists. Philly rolls past the Suns by double digits. Zion Williamson in your building, you know there will be fireworks. Brandon Ingram returns from injury to take on Trae Young and the Atlanta Hawks. First quarter. In transition we go. It's Ingram showing you. After missing 3 games, he's just fine. There's the grind. Pelicans up by 5. DeJounte Murray can cock that thing too. Atlanta hanging around in New Orleans. Trae Young's new favorite teammate, Jalen Johnson, throws down the jam. He had 21 and 11. Here's where things get interesting. Look at Zion. A little bully ball on DeAndre Hunter. But Clint Capella's got his man's back. Look at Zion try to go on the other side of that rim, but he's rejected by Capella. Now, usually most guys give up once Zion just started bulldozing his way through, but give Clint Capella credit for trying. Then Zion gets him get back. You saw him with the score, right with Capella, chest to chest, man to man. And then Zion's out in transition, and ain't nobody on God's green earth stopping that. With that head of steam, it's Williamson with the windmill. Pelicans up by 7, third quarter. Here comes the ATL, in large part because Trae Young said so. Young on one leg gives the Hawks the 2-point lead midway through the third. And he not tied yet. No. It's Young, the deep three. Have been struggling to find the range, didn't struggle in the second half against New Orleans. It's Young, the deuce counts plus the foul. Ice Trae can pass the rock too. He finds Onyeka Okongwu who scores. Trae had 12 assists. Then I already showed you getting a couple buckets. Here's one more. Young nails the deep three. 22 points for Ice Trae. The Atlanta Hawks put New Orleans away for good. Your final 123-105. Really good game to watch from Indiana, in large part due to Tyrese Halliburton having himself a game. The Pacers hosting the Hornets. First quarter, Miles Turner is off to a really good start this season. He nails the three to double his squad's lead. But they wouldn't get too far away because the Pacers had something to say. Brandon Miller with the old alley-oop. Off the steal, how about Ningart finding, you know who, O.B. Toppin, doing what he does best, dunks. Terry Rozier's got a response. He's still one of the quicker guards in the league. He just goes right at Indiana and dares them to do something about it. Speaking of going right at, how about Gordon Hayward? He's still hanging around in the NBA. Still can get a bucket. He had 23 in this one. And then check out this dime from Rozier inside to Mark Williams, who had himself a game, a career game at that. As we go into the half, though, this is a big shot for the Pacers. Halliburton not only cuts their deficit down to 8, but clearly all Tyrese needed to see was one go through the net, because in the third quarter, he came out blazing. Tyrese Halliburton, probably the best quarter of his career, doing it on both ends. You see the threes, and then Benedict Mathurin's like, I'm not finna shoot it. Do you see how hot my man's is? Tyrese putting the Pacers up. Halliburton, heat check. The good heat check right there. The Pacers now take control of this one. And then look at the dive from Tyrese. We're still in the third. A 25-point quarter from Tyrese Halliburton got the Pacers sitting pretty. Fourth quarter, scary hours. Terry Rozier nails the three. That was good, Terry. Here's bad, Terry. As he makes his move, clearly something is wrong. Rozier would leave the game. By the way, the Hornets just keep it moving, and Gordon Hayward nails the three. Terry will leave the game, though, and not return. I'll give you an update on his injury once I get one. That doesn't mean the Hornets just going to stop battling, though. I mentioned Mark Williams to you earlier. He had 27 points. Hornets up 5. But here comes that man again, Halliburton. Another three. This game, though, comes down to the last seconds. Pacers down a point. Halliburton versus LaMelo. We know he's had the game of his life. LaMelo predicts Halliburton's move, and it was a good prediction. He rips Tyrese clean, and just like that, the Hornets get the road victory, 125-124 in a thriller. Domantas Sabonis and the Sacramento Kings still trying to figure things out after losing De'Aaron Fox early in this season. They're in Houston to take on Dillon Brooks and the Sacramento Kings. And Houston started the season off pretty rough, but they're starting to figure it out. Alperen Sengun's going to find Jalen Green. His 1,000th career point. Congratulations to the young fella. Rockets spent a lot of money this offseason to bring in a new backcourt. And how about the backcourt having a good one? Brooks inside, Fred VanVleet outside. Just like that, Houston already up 22-8, a 2-touchdown lead at home. Second quarter, Jabari Smith Jr. nails the three. Jabari had one of his better games of the season. He had 21 points. JaVale McGee's doing a lot of heavy lifting in Sacramento. I'm not so sure if he thought he'd be this much of a scoring threat, but he has been called upon and he's answered. He goes and one, just bulldozing his way through VanVleet. VanVleet's like, I'm getting bulldozed on defense. Y'all ain't giving me my fouls on offense. Sheesh Louise. Malik Monk's doing a lot of the heavy lifting with Fox out of the lineup. He had 18 points off that Sacramento bench. Speaking of heavy lifting, Green takes off usually when he takes off, that's a good thing for the Houston Rockets. Y'all see what I did there? Come on, man. Come on, man. That's like a triple entendre. We're in the third now. Van Vliet still showing you what grind can do. I think he's regathered himself. And then Keegan Murray finishes. We got a 2-point contest. Harrison Barnes, corner three-pointer. Looks like money to me. Sacramento takes the 1-point lead. Could they keep it, though? The answer is no. Fox is going to find McGee for the deuce. But then from there, it's all Rockets. There we go. Van Vliet probably gets away with a foul call. Ain't nothing wrong with a little bit of get back. He nails the three. And then from there, Dylan Brooks said, yo, I got you, Fred, from here. May I have this dance, Sacramento? The hook shot for Brooks. I get a kick out of watching Brooks play basketball. That is just me personally. And then how about Dylan taunting Sacramento, blowing them a kiss, letting them know that this one is over. 12 of Dylan's 26 points came in the fourth quarter. How about that? The Rockets win 107-89. Interesting. No Nicholas Claxton, no Cam Johnson, and no Ben Simmons. Jason Tatum and the Boston Celtics at the Barclays Center to take on the Nets. These are dogs walking in your building. Y'all know what I say about Boston. These are absolute dogs. Tatum nails the three. Other end, want to give a little credit to Lonnie Walker for coming to play since some of his teammates did not. And I love this pick and roll action here for Shannon Sharpe, who finishes. I see something there in him. Cam Thompson, speaking of see something in somebody, Thomas, tunnel vision, only sees the net. He goes and what? Brooklyn holding on well against a team that hadn't lost thus far this year yet. Tatum, though, and Boston put the foot on the gas in the second. Tatum for three. Tatum deuce plus the foul. They all count the same when you're as good as Tatum. And then Kristaps Porzingis running the floor, and I respect Boston for respecting his hard work and efforts. Tatum beats the second quarter buzzer with a three, and just like that, the Celtics are up double digits. I'm telling you, they can do it to you, man. Spencer Dinwiddie nails a three, and just like that, Brooklyn has already trimmed a double-digit halftime deficit down to 3. But then you got to deal with Drew Holiday. Pass to Brown for 3, and then Holiday stopping on a dime, nailing the 3. His footwork is so incredible. Boston's once again in the driver's seat. Cam Thomas going 1-on-5. He don't care. Thomas has led the Nets in scoring in 66% of their games thus far this year. He can score. Can he defend? Tatum says no. JT had a team-high 32 points. Brown had 23. This one actually rolls out, but his big fella's got his back. Kristaps Porzingis cleans up the mess. Big fella had 7 boards to go along with 22 points. The Nets were game, but the Celtics were gamer. 124-114 is your final. Welcome to another episode of the Hoops Ferro podcast. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't want to waste your time. I know you own your grind. If you have not done so, please make sure you like, sharing all of the great content. Giveaways are on the way. It's the holiday season. Your boy Ferro is going to go into Ferro Claus mode really soon here. You want to make sure you are subscribed to this platform as well, so you put yourself in position to hear details about Ferro's giveaways this holiday season. Now, for this episode, I got to first tell y'all, if you got through all of those games, thank you for being a trooper. And second, tell you guys, I see something brewing that I don't think a lot of people are talking about in the NBA right now. Ladies and gentlemen, when was the last time you watched a Brooklyn Nets game in totality? Your answer probably is going to be either the playoffs or when Kevin Durant and Kyrie were there. I'm going to say this to you guys. I had a chance to just sit down and watch Brooklyn over the weekend, and something very serious is brewing. Obviously, I cover them and I watch them while I'm watching other teams all the time. But I just want to sit down and watch Brooklyn dribble for dribble. And I'm sitting here watching Cam Thomas continue to light it up. And now we're at the point now where Cam pretty much every single night is the Brooklyn Nets leading scorer. Now, keep in mind last year, when Mikal Bridges got there in the Kevin Durant trade, he was pretty much leading that team in scoring. And I believe the Nets as a squad were more receptive to Mikal leading the team in scoring than they are Cam. Here's why. Mikal is a guy that doesn't need his number called often. He will come on the basketball, but he will definitely come off of that bad boy. Sometimes he's the guy to get it last on a swing around with the corner three-pointer. Oftentimes, Mikal is hustling and finding ways to get involved in the game. Also, you got to keep in mind, Mikal didn't come over to Brooklyn alone. He came with another important piece in that Kevin Durant trade, Cam Johnson. So he's got friends over there. Mikal's also one of the more liked players around the league from what I see. I'm bringing that all up for a reason. I don't think Cam Thomas give a damn about any of this. Cam Thomas wears that number 24 for a reason. This dude believes he is the second coming of Kobe. So I am watching something brew really, really closely in Brooklyn as you see guys like Ben Simmons not play basketball, even though I believe this is the most important season in Ben Simmons' career right now. He's just sitting out games. They'll put an injury on it. But y'all know, like I know, when multiple guys rest at the same time and then have the audacity to sit next to each other on the damn bench, that looks like resting to me. That looks like designated rest coming off of a back-to-back. In my estimations, that's what that looks like to me. I bring that up for a reason. If I'm Ben Simmons, I'm getting on the court as much as possible because I don't want to see Cam Thomas continue to light it up the way he is. If I'm Ben Simmons, you will have to literally pull my ass off the court this year. I don't know what opportunities are going to be out there for Ben when this season is over. I don't. I'm telling you, this is how it's going to play out. Cam Thomas, on the other hand, you would believe the opportunities would be endless, but I'm asking myself, and I'm trying to ask people that also cover the NBA, right? What's out there for Cam? I'm just thinking of a team that y'all know I got a lot of faith in, the Memphis Grizzlies, right? Why wouldn't they go out and acquire Cam Thomas right now? I don't know if the Brooklyn Nets love what Cam Thomas is giving them right now. I love that he's an aggressive scorer, but it is tunnel vision. When Cam's on the ball, unlike Mikal Bridges, more times than not, ain't nobody else going to get any motion. That is about Cam and Cam only. He's a scorer. The problem is his height makes him play point guard. And him at the point guard is him at the shoot guard, if that makes any sense to you. Cam Thomas wears number 24 for a reason. Think about that. That's a point guard wearing Kobe Bryant's number. Could you imagine if Kobe Bryant was 4 to 5 inches shorter than what he ended up being? A 6'1", 6'2" Kobe Bryant is probably Russell Westbrook. I'm just saying, y'all, like Cam Thomas is an assassin, but I have to compare it to Jeremy Lin. Like, I feel like over the years, I've heard too many people bring up Jeremy Lin's name when I see a guy go on a scoring, rage over like 10 games, right? And oftentimes I don't think those were comparable to what Jeremy Lin was, because I believe what ended Jeremy Lin's career earlier than he would have expected in the NBA at least was because Jeremy Lin was so lethal during his run in New York, it pretty much sucked the air out of anybody else on the squad. And yes, I believe guys were happy for Jeremy Lin personally, but professionally, they're thinking about their own money, their own contracts. We can't just sit around and watch this dude go ISO ball more times than not. If the face of the franchise, Carmelo Anthony, wants to do it, that's one thing. But Jeremy Lin wasn't commanding double teams. Teams were not going to bring a second guy over to Jeremy Lin, and they were just going to allow him to pretty much twerk defenses and torch defenses night in, night out. The problem with that was it ain't like Lin wouldn't pass the ball. Cam Thomas will pass the ball. That's just not what was on either one of their minds. So when I look at Cam, I think Jeremy Lin. And I don't know how long the Brooklyn Nets want to roll with the Jeremy Lin show. Coach Vaughn's got a decision to make. I do believe this is an important one. I am watching this because essentially what Coach Vaughn would end up having to do at some point this year is benching a guy in Cam Thomas that always comes ready to work. You can't pull him off the court. And to me, you see a guy like Ben Simmons, to me, who likes the game of basketball a lot and what the game of basketball gives him. Cam Thomas is in love with scoring and being a part of the game of basketball, in love with opportunities. I don't know how in the hell Coach Vaughn makes a decision to pull Cam Thomas away with the amount of buckets that he can get in a short amount of time in favor of Ben Simmons. But if you want to see what you got in Ben, you probably got to do that, right? I'm telling y'all, it's something to watch for all NBA fans out there. We're still very early in the season. Keep your eye on the Brooklyn Nets and how they handle this Cam Thomas situation. He is putting real pressure on Ben Simmons, not to mention he can do pretty much everything offensively that Ben cannot do. The only thing that Ben has in his favor is you can't teach 6'9" with the ability to run the show like a point guard. But at what point do we say, all right, the theory and the thought process of Ben Simmons is great, but the actual production of Ben Simmons is nowhere near what we can get out of tunnel vision Cam Thomas.
In the first, Thomas evades, takes, banks, plus the foul. A chance.
I want to close this episode showing love to a brother that I have a lot of respect for. Never met the brother, by the way. So if y'all remember, a couple months ago, I voiced my concerns about the future of Shannon Sharpe. And it wasn't because of his talent. I believe Shannon Sharpe is, to me, the most talented personality in sports television today. I believe that on a lot of levels. First and foremost, Shannon Sharpe, say what you want about Unc. Now, Unc sometimes gets forgetful, and he will forget a name. He'll call Stephen A. Skip from time to time. He'll call Ocho somebody else. But if nothing else, Shannon Sharpe and the team around him, they come prepared anytime he's in front of a desk, anytime he's doing an interview. Shannon Sharpe knows his stuff, all right? I was never concerned about this brother's talent level. This brother was literally lightning in the bottom, ready to be just opened up to the world. And we give Skip Bayless an immense amount of credit for giving Shannon that opportunity to be this star that he has become, right? He is incredible. My concern for Shannon was I didn't feel like his next move was properly put together. We didn't know. Like I once the finals ended and his run at Undisputed abruptly ended, I thought we were going to see Shannon on TV the next week. We were waiting to hear about a deal. We heard reports about Shannon shopping himself and his brand. It was important to him to make sure he had that Club Shay Shay podcast that he's turned into different shows now. It was important to hear that he had ownership of that. We found out he did have ownership of it, and he's taking it. He probably wanted it to be on ESPN. It appears as though that's not the case. He ends up doing a partnership deal with Colin Cowherd's growing platform, The Volume, that y'all know I have very much so interest in being a part of. That's one that I'm keeping on my radar. I like what Colin Cowherd's got going right now. I really do. I say that to say Shannon Sharpe has done it again. So now I believe Shannon Sharpe is not only the guy that can exceed and succeed when he's next to guys like Skip and Stephen A. Now Shannon Sharpe is at the point where his star will shine no matter who's across from him, next from him, on Zoom with him. This dude is just a star now. Like this is like watching a basketball player need a guy like LeBron his first few years, and then by the end of that thing, he blossoms into a star in his own right. Shannon Sharpe is a sports television star no matter what's next to him now. We were concerned about where would he land and who would be next to him. It don't even matter no more. This dude is box office television. I bring all of that up to say, have y'all been watching this nightcap that Shannon Sharpe has with Chad Ochocinco? Listen to me, ladies and gentlemen. I'm in the space. I've been a content creator for quite some time now. Obviously, I'm still young. I'm 29. But I've been in this space, relatively speaking, a long time. I knew where the game was headed. The numbers that Shannon Sharpe is doing with sports television, I get it. He's a household name. You know him from his time with Undisputed, obviously, and his incredible Hall of Fame career as a football player. And obviously, he's on ESPN now as well, a couple days a week. But the amount of notoriety this nightcap podcast that Shannon has with Ocho Cinco, it's incredible. And if I need to walk back and apologize what I previously said about Shannon and my concerns, clearly this brother knew what the hell he was doing. I don't know how long he had the Ocho Cinco podcast in the works. It is incredible. And I'm going to tell y'all, somebody who's in the space and studies this stuff and is a producer on this stuff and has worked on shows like First Taking His and Hers as an intern and worked as an intern at SportsCenter. I'm telling y'all right now, this is not about Chad Ochocinco. No disrespect to him. He's an incredibly articulate brother. The ladies love Chad Ochocinco. I actually met Chad Ochocinco at a celebrity game one time around. He has an incredible presence when he's in the room. He's funny. He's all that great stuff. This ain't got nothing to do with him. At best, a lot of Chad's takes are Brandon Marshall-esque, right? Typical takes that you hear from a former athlete that has relationships with athletes. He doesn't really give it up. Shannon Sharpe is giving it up. He is giving it up. He is going crazy right now. I don't know what the hell Shannon Sharpe has planned for basketball season. I'm going to go ahead and put my name in the pot. There's two things working for me right now. I want to be a part of Colin Cowherd's The Volume. I'm putting it out in the atmosphere. And number two, I think Shannon Sharpe, I don't know who he has as his co-host. You got to believe Shannon is going to want to do something with basketball. I'm putting my name in the pot. I think I'll be an incredible co-host. Now, obviously, people don't know me like they know Chad Ochocinco, but you talking about a guy that's going to come with integrity and bring it to Shannon every day. I think I'm the perfect guy for that. I don't know who he's got for basketball season. Maybe he brings another big name out there. I'm just telling y'all this, for anybody out there, the big names are cool, but the people that got audiences like I do, that have done it themselves, that care about the business, and like these are the people to me you want to invest in. You want to invest in the Kenny Beckhams and the Teleferros and the Ferros. You want to invest in us. We show you every night that we understand the space probably more than guys like Chad Johnson or Ochocinco understand the space. We get it, man. Chad Ochocinco is benefiting off of the great brand that is Shannon Sharpe. I mean, if they go live at midnight, they're doing 20,000 people, 30,000 people on live streams at midnight, 1, 2 in the morning on the East Coast. That is incredible viewership right now. So look, Skip Bayless threw the lob to Shannon, but not only does Shannon take it and oop it, he continues to go back down court and play defense and then lead that to offense again. This dude is now a star no matter who is around him. I would love to work with that brother. I don't know what his plan is with the nightcap in basketball season. I'm putting my name in the hat. That dude is money, box office, and I think that's what we'll put a cap on my episode of the Hoops Ferro podcast. If you enjoyed the great quality content, I want to thank you so much for tuning in. It's your time, it's your love, and your support. Those three things that somebody like me that comes from nothing will never, I mean never, take for granted. Man, oh man, y'all got to let me know in the comment section, would you like to see old Unc and Ferro get it on basketball season that's still early and premature? Let me know what you think, and let me know what y'all think about Shannon Sharpe's recent success with the Nightcap podcast. I'm out.
I want to salute you, homie, for building your own thing and doing your own thing.
Why build theirs when I believe I can build my own?
You've already done it, or I wouldn't be here.
I'm already the only elite sports and music journalist in the game today. My goal is simple: to be the best there's ever been. So please don't go. Make sure you subscribe and follow the journey. It truly means everything to me. I tell stories. I talk music. I cover sports. I am culture. I am Ferro.